If you think you know what Earth looks like, wait until you see these places. They'll make you feel like you've stepped straight into a glitch in the simulation. Our planet is packed with strikingly beautiful places, way more than any one lifetime could ever cover. We get so lost in our daily routines, our phones, our little digital bubbles. But out there are corners of the world so surreal they basically break every rule of geology we learned in school. So today isn't about pretty views. It's about the true kings of nature. Places so impossible they forced scientists to rewrite the planet's history and inspired some of the greatest stories ever told. This is a journey through the evolution of wonder itself. From ancient formations that whisper secrets of the past, to landscapes so vivid they look like they belong on another planet entirely. These places challenge everything we think we know about Earth. To really understand them, you have to look past the surface. We dug through data from over 100 global expeditions and historical records just to bring you this list. So whether you're a curious traveler or just someone chasing a moment of awe, consider this your map to the unbelievable. Let's start in Hunan Province, China. Inside Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. If these towering sandstone pillars look familiar, that's because they inspired the floating mountains in Avatar. There are over 3,000 of them, some soaring more than 1,000 feet into the sky. They formed over 300 million years ago, carved by relentless weathering, erosion, and seismic activity. That slow violence stripped away the softer rock and left only these giant stone sentinels standing. When the morning fog rolls in, the base of every pillar just disappears, and the peaks float in a sea of white. It's a moment where the physical world genuinely seems to break. To feel the scale for yourself, you'd ride the Beilong elevator, the tallest outdoor lift on Earth, climbing 326 meters straight up a cliff face. It's proof that some of the wildest things we see on screen actually exist right here in the real world. From China's cinematic peaks, we head to Venezuela, to a lost world of its own. Deep in Canema National Park stands the Aoyan Tepui, a massive tabletop mountain the local people call the home of the gods. Off its summit falls Angel Falls, the tallest uninterrupted waterfall on the planet, dropping 979 meters. The water falls from so high that most of it turns to mist before it ever touches the ground. You can feel that mist on your skin from kilometers away. This place blends modern history with ancient myth in a way few others do. It's named after Jimmy Angel, the American pilot who crash-landed his plane right on the marshy summit back in 1933. But long before he showed up, this exact landscape inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle to write about dinosaurs and prehistoric survivors. And even now, many of these Tepui summits sit like islands in time, cut off by sheer cliffs for millions of years. Earth doesn't just sculpt with stone and water, it paints with life itself. Take the Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone, Wyoming, the third largest hot spring on the planet. From above, it looks like a giant, glowing eye staring straight back at the sun. That deep blue center is the hottest part, but the rings of yellow, orange, and red around it aren't from minerals at all. They're made by heat-loving bacteria called extremophiles. These microscopic organisms shift color based on water temperature, painting a rainbow that changes with the seasons. It's one of the clearest examples anywhere of life and geology working together to create something beautiful. Even in brutal heat, life finds a way to turn the landscape into art. Now, some of the wildest sights on Earth aren't permanent at all. They're rare, fleeting things that only show up under exactly the right conditions. Out in the frozen steppes of Kazakhstan, near a village called Kagan, an ice volcano appears every winter. Standing up to 14 meters tall, it forms when underground springs push water up through freezing air. As that water freezes layer by layer, it builds a massive hollow cone of ice. And because the spring underneath never stops flowing, the whole thing keeps releasing vapor, like it's actually erupting. It's a strange reminder that this planet still has tricks up its sleeve. Sometimes Earth hides its best work until the very last moment. In the Andes of Peru sits Vinicunca, or Rainbow Mountain, buried under ice for centuries. It's only in recent years, as the glaciers melted away, that its colorful stripes finally saw daylight. Those bands of red, yellow, and turquoise come from different mineral layers, pushed up by tectonic shifts millions of years ago. Sitting above 5,000 meters, just reaching the summit is a serious physical challenge most people underestimate. And honestly, it's a place that captures the whole climate paradox of our era. We only get to see this beauty because our planet is changing so fast. Over in Madagascar, there's a very different kind of ancient witness. The Avenue of the Baobabs is home to trees over 800 years old. Known as the upside-down trees, their thick water-storing trunks make them look like they were planted roots first by someone in a hurry. Each one can hold up to 100,000 liters of water just to survive the dry season. But there's a quiet tragedy behind their grandeur. These trees used to stand inside a dense, thriving forest, one that was cleared away by human hands in the early 1900s. Now they stand alone, like solitary monuments, a silent reminder of how quickly we can undo what nature spent centuries building. They're the elders of the plant world, carrying a history older than most of our civilizations. Our final stop is a living masterpiece of ice in Argentine Patagonia. The Perito Moreno Glacier is one of the rare glaciers on Earth that's still advancing instead of retreating. It's a massive river of ice, stretching across 250 square kilometers. Stand in front of its 60-meter walls, and you'll realize almost immediately this ice is not silent. It groans, it cracks. It genuinely sounds like it's breathing. And every so often, chunks the size of apartment buildings break off and crash into the water with a sound like thunder. That process is called calving, and it's about as raw a display of Earth's power as you'll ever witness. Nothing about this place is static. It's constantly moving, grinding, and reshaping itself right in front of you. So looking back at all 7 of these wonders, a pattern starts to emerge. These places were once seen as sacred homes for spirits and gods. Then science came along and explained the microbial and tectonic forces behind them. And now, they've become the backdrop for our biggest cinematic imagination. But the real insight isn't in what we know, it's in the gap between that knowledge and what we actually do with it. We might be the last generation to see some of these places exactly as they are right now. Whether it's an ice volcano rising in Kazakhstan or a glacier slowly retreating in Patagonia, this planet never stops changing. So which one of these will you reach before the world changes again?